course, it's all about the 10 billion shilling bond offering, and that, of course, being allowed to go through in today's session. So great news for the company. Frank, thank you very much for your time today. Let's start off with your strategy behind this. I mean, 10 billion shillings bond offering. Let's start off with your strategy.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this is basically to support two sides of our strategy. One in terms of the supply of housing and property in this market, and the other to support the end buyer demand in terms of mortgage finance.
Well, you haven't really given a lot of information about the tenure, the yield, or the number of tranches in which the medium-term note will be issued. Could you give us some insights into that?
Yes, I can give you some that has been decided so far. In terms of the tenor, we're looking at between 7 to 10 years. The yield we'll be able to determine in the next 10 days or so after we've done our roadshows and met some of the key investors in the market. In terms of tranches, we're probably looking at 2 to 3 tranches in the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, just looking at the real estate markets, and we know that there's a massive funding gap, and of course there's still a lot of prospects for growth. How do you plan to zoom into the various sectors?
Yeah, in fact, this is on the back of that planning. We have actually pretty much segmented in terms of our target markets in the country, both within economic segments and regional segments. So this phase of the funding follows on the back of the rights issue that we did 2 years ago, and will be the first in a series of other funding mechanisms that will be rolling out in the years to come.
Would you say that 10 billion shillings is enough for now, or do you plan to roll out more going forward?
No, we'll definitely be allotting more going forward, but the 10 billion should last us over the next 18 to 24 months.
Well, just looking at the demand for houses at this point in time, which stands at around 150,000 units per year, supply estimated at around 35,000 units per year. So clearly, it is about gaining on that opportunity as well, Frank.
Yes, it is. And supply is really the key factor in this market. And supply, especially within the middle income to lower middle income segments, that's where the focus is.
Well, given the fact that you're a key mortgage lender in East Africa's biggest economy, just looking at some of the competition that will come to the fore as well with this, are you concerned? How do you plan to keep at the upper hand?
No, not really concerned. I mean, of course, we will continuously look at our competition and see what they're doing. But for us, it's really to focus singly on our own strategy, continue creating our markets, continue creating our products. Our strength in this market lies around product innovation, and it is our intention to continue leading the pack in terms of innovation.
All right, give me some insights into the product innovation that you're talking about, because it seems that a lot of the media reports that we're seeing saying that competition is going to start heating up because of the regulatory approval of this bond that you've been seeking.
Yes, two key ones I can give you that we've launched in this market, and in fact are the only ones that have it in this market to date. One is our product called Macau, which basically targets landowners who don't have the time or may not be physically present in Kenya to manage a construction. So we put together a consortium of building professionals, designed various housing types ranging from 1 million shillings to up to about 18 million shillings, and basically carry out the whole end-to-end construction for you, and then hand over the keys when it's ready. The other key innovation in this market is the first pension-backed mortgage that we call Home Freedom, that again targeting the untapped funds that are lying in pension schemes or savings that a lot of us have in pensions that we can't use today. And that is really helping to unlock a lot of demand. So the whole focus in terms of innovation is trying to understand what is stopping people from crossing over from being a rent payer to a homeowner and then coming up with solutions for that.
Well, just looking at the exposure to risk as well, because it is all about balancing your assets with your liabilities. Are you concerned about that, or do you think you've got a fine balance right now?
No, we are concerned about that, and that was another motivation for coming up with a medium-term bond, because today the bulk of our funding is really from the short end, from short-term deposits and short-term loans. So definitely this will help minimize that gap.
And also just looking at the demand for mortgages out there, we know that there's still an interest rate problem in Kenya and in most parts of Africa because unfortunately debt is not really attainable to the masses. Are you planning to soften things somewhat for consumers out there?
Sorry, are we stopping to do what?
Just looking, are you planning to soften the blow somewhat for consumers out there, just looking at the interest rate environment and of course the products that you will be offering?
Yes, we definitely are, and at least we're happy to say that in terms of our base rate in this market today at 12.5%, we still have one of the lowest base rates in the market. The outcome and pricing of this 7-year bond will also give us a feel for what sort of mortgage interest rate to peg onto the products that we'll be coming up with to support the bond. But going forward, we continuously looking for ways to reduce our own internal costs to pass that on to our customers.